Oscar-winning actor Kevin Spacey has been in the witness box today as the defence case in his sex offences trial begins.
Well, he's accused of 12 sex offences, including indecent assault, sexual assault and causing a person to engage in sexual activity without consent. And he denies all those charges, but a jury heard accounts from 4 alleged victims yesterday.
The 63-year-old is in the witness box, we understand, still this afternoon. So let's get the very latest from Theo Chikomba, who is outside Southwark Crown Court for us. I imagine the courtroom, the public gallery, has been absolutely packed, Theo.
You're absolutely right. It's been packed throughout the morning and likely for the rest of the afternoon. Many journalists from broadcasters, papers, including the New York Post as well. So in terms of when he arrived here this morning, he arrived with a number of people wearing a grey suit and a light blue tie. But inside, Patrick Gibbs Casey, the defence barrister, addressed the jury at the start of the defence case of the trial of Kevin Spacey. He then began asking Mr. Spacey a number of personal questions, where he grew up, the schools he went to, alongside his upbringing, and then when he went on to have his acting career. Then the court heard about him beginning to attempt to rebuild a theatre here in London called the Old Vic. He was trying to work with some of his colleagues to revamp this place, and it's somewhere where he worked, and they went on to have 54 productions. They then went on to the allegations. The first victim today, the alleged victim, the jury were shown images of him and this alleged victim. He was asked to recollect some of those events when they met and how that relationship began to build. And then when he was asked to see whether he could recollect some of that time and how he was able to obtain some of the information, he spoke about a rental phone, which he says he still uses now here in London. And his business colleague went on to speak to a CEO of this company, and they were then able to find some of this information, texts and so on, and call records dating back to the 2000s. The court then heard about what happened between him and this first alleged victim. And Mr. Spacey went on to say it's not what has been described by this victim. The court heard how he touched this person in a romantic way. He denied saying it was in a violent way. This was a relationship that they had built. They said they both flirted with each other, and as they spent more time together, that relationship began to build. But he did go on to say he made it clear that he didn't want to go further, and Mr. Spacey said, "I respected that." So in terms of what we've heard so far this morning, we'll be continuing to hear more evidence this afternoon. But just finally, though, when asked about the relationship with this alleged victim, he said he was never his full-time chauffeur or security, and he was crushed when he heard about these allegations, considering this is the person he knew, and he said he felt that he stabbed him in his back. Kevin Spacey denies all 12 allegations, or charges, shall I say, including sexual assault. The trial continues here at Southwark Crown Court this afternoon.